today I'm going to talk about something slightly different to perhaps what you're used to seeing on Betsy's YouTube channel. Okay, you're probably used to seeing her trick compilations, her frisbee stuff, her tricks, obedience, agility kind of stuff, but Bets actually has another talent, okay, that I haven't really featured much on the channel, to be honest. There's a number of different reasons I have chosen to do that, and for various different reasons, and I'm going to go into them further in the rest of the video. Okay, Betsy is actually my owner trained assistance dog. Okay, yeah, you can go, aren't you? Okay, you got an eye bogey. Can I have it? Yeah, I know. No, not allowed. Yeah, no. Yeah, eye bogeys, but there we go. Bets is my owner trained assistance dog, and that means that I have trained her myself for her to directly mitigate my disabilities. Now, I don't know whether many people know this, but actually under the UK law, the Equality Act of 2010, you are allowed to owner train your own assistance dog. You can either do it through a prescribed charity or a prescribed category. Now, me and Bet, we've decided to go through the prescribed category option. Okay, the reason being, okay, is I'm actually a dog trainer myself. You might have sort of guessed by the level of obsession on the videos. So I feel like I have the knowledge, the experience and the resources and the contacts to be able to do that myself, and that's no mean feat, and it's not for everyone. Okay, now most people don't realise this because there's a coalition that's voluntary in the UK called Assistance Dogs UK, and they're basically an umbrella for various different assistance dog charities that I can go into a later video, but I'm not going to go in much today. And they're part of a wider organisation called Assistance Dogs International, okay, which is like an international body for assistance dog. But here's the caveat: there is no legal requirement for an assistance dog to come under them here in the UK. The only legal requirements assistance dogs must have here in the UK is that they must be able to directly mitigate a handler's disability, okay, that significantly impairs their day-to-day living, okay, or their day-to-day life, okay. Now, most assistance dogs do something called tasks, okay, so these are things that they've specifically been trained to do to help their handlers. Now, this is probably coming as a surprise to quite a few of you, because for various different reasons I haven't told a lot of people that the Bets I've trained to be an assistance dog, because lots of people, believe it or not, look at me and they think that I'm actually normal, because a lot of my disabilities I have, unless you are a trained medical professional or sort of know what you're looking for, they're invisible, okay, and it means that people often get, anyway, quite judgmental and sort of assume that she's a fake. And that isn't the case. She does task work, she's insured, we've got training diaries, she's clearly marked, you know, she's been, I've got independent advice, not just myself, to make sure that she's at the required standard, if you like, to be an assistance dog. So some people are naughty and they do fake assistance dogs, and they'll put a vest on their pet that is clearly not ready and distressed by an environment, and it doesn't do any tasks and the handler's not disabled. But you cannot usually tell by just looking at a handler to see whether it's a fake or not. It's normally the dog that sort of gives it away. If the dog is like being not coping in the environment, okay, and it's like weeing everywhere, or it's like not doing any tasks, or it's just incessantly barking or reacting to things, most probably it's a fake. I'm not saying that all assistance dogs are robots. Assistance dogs, like other dogs, they're not robots. They have bad days, and they'll have days where perhaps everything doesn't quite go to plan. But any assistance dog, whether owner trained or ADUK type charity assistance dogs, will probably experience that one day or another, and that doesn't make them a bad dog and handler partnership. It makes them human and a dog, okay? Anyway, so my disabilities and Betsy's tasks I'm going to go into now. My main disabilities, if you like, I don't really talk about them very much. I'm open about them, but I don't really talk about how they affect me unless you know me very, very well. And it's probably unlikely, unless you are very close to me or families or very close family friend, that you'll know what Betsy's main tasks are, okay? Now, as part of, I'm actually on the autistic spectrum, okay, and part of that means I see the world differently. I communicate and socially interact differently than other people, okay. Some people find this really hard to believe because I'm a dog training instructor. I travel all over the country giving seminars and workshops. I do classes, I do one-to-ones, okay? Guess what? Guess what my obsession, or rather constructive specialist subject is, okay? It's dogs, okay? And I think it's constructive because I've been privileged enough to meet some brilliant people, some really interesting dog and handlers and owners, and being able to help them. So I love what I do, okay? It also means that I get overwhelmed and disorientated really easily. So I have something called sensory overload sometimes, which can actually cause two main things. One's called a meltdown and one's called a shutdown. Now, I used to get meltdowns a lot when I was younger, okay? And that's sort of where everything just bleeds out your system, and it's like all the pent-up anxiety, frustration, and not being able to cope with the environment just comes out, okay, and you have no control. It's really scary, okay, you have no control over almost how you interact with people. It just like your brain just has it out and just blah, and it's really embarrassing. Thankfully that doesn't happen as frequently anymore, but I know very close friends that have actually seen me on this state, and it's not a pretty sight, but we're just going to skip over that. The more common one that I experience is something called a shutdown. Now, because I'm 27, they sort of expect you slightly as an adult to sort of mask all of this, and as a result it's sort of all your difficulties and frustration is internalised, and that isn't constructive, because what happens is all of that gets pent up like a sugar Coke bottle, with like every trigger that stacks. Yeah, I'm like a dog, I'm basically like a reactive human basically, is like a Mento being popped into a Coke really quickly, and then the lid is screwed on, okay? Now, when the lid is screwed on does not mean the Mento and the fizzed up Coke aren't there, okay? It means that I'm suppressing it, okay? It means all of that internal fizzing is going on, okay? And that's basically what goes on in my brain. As a result of me not being able to take in all of this data and make it into useful information, because there's too much coming in at once, I actually lose the ability to verbalise and speak, okay? And it's really, really scary, and I feel quite vulnerable when it happens, okay? It's not something that I've talked about with a lot of people, because people don't believe you when they think that you're normal, you seem quite outgoing. They don't understand that this could be the case. So one of Betsy's tasks is, when I get completely overloaded and overwhelmed, is if it's in the early stages, she'll do something called deep pressure, which is DPT, deep pressure therapy, okay? And she'll use her weight of herself to basically calm me down and try and process what's coming into my brain, okay? And the way she does that, she'll either put paws up on my lap, or she'll actually get her whole body and put it across me, okay, depending how bad it is. And which can be quite funny, but it's more socially acceptable to have a dog on your lap or pawing at you, rather than someone just lying on your lap, or you holding a duvet around with you all the time. And for example, one of my coping mechanisms when I was younger at school, if too much was going on, to try and get that heaviness to make me feel together, I would use a coat, okay, and I would wear it whatever the weather. I'd have my hood up, and that would be my way of trying to almost ground myself, okay. And it would look a little bit ridiculous because it'd be like 24 degrees and I'd be wrapped in a winter coat. So it was like my safety bubble, okay. Excuse the munching in the background. She's got a Kong, or like a beehive type yellow thing that she really enjoys. So if you ever see someone that you suspect might be experiencing sensory overload or shutdown, best thing to do is to just go over to them. If they don't seem visibly, outwardly melting down too much, okay, is just ask them, would you like to be guided? Do you need help? Just ask very simple yes and no questions, okay? That might not help everyone, and some people might even prefer that you ignore them, but some people might need assistance. So it might be a good idea just to go over and just say, are you okay? Do you need help? Would you like me to do this? Just simple yes, no answers that people can either nod or shake their head to, because at that stage, that might be all that they can sort of manage, to be honest, okay? So that's one of her tasks, well, 3 of her tasks, okay? The other thing is I have another condition called severe dyspraxia, which basically affects the messages to and from the brain, rather like, you know, the ASD, okay? The only difference is that sort of affects my short-term memory. So basically, imagine Dory in Finding Nemo, okay? That's me, okay, just as a human, okay? So if you can imagine a brain and a central nervous system as a train track, if you like. The trains were sort of a bit wonky, have a bit dodgy wheels, and have lots of trains, some faster than the other. One is like a dodgy monorail that goes in the wrong direction, and one is like a high-speed 2 that's like really fast and awesome. Okay, and basically my brain is sort of made out of almost extremes. Some things it doesn't cope with very well, like spatial awareness and balancing and stuff like that. Some things it does really, really well, but to extremes, okay? The other thing is that affects me quite physically, and is the reason basically why I can't drive, and it affects my something called depth perception as well. So I can't tell when I cross a road how far away a car is basically from me, and as well as not being able to take in loads of strands of information. I have mild ataxic cerebral palsy, okay? That basically means, okay, that if you can imagine being drunk all the time, well, that's basically me, and that's why they don't tend to allow people like me to drive, okay? You know, health and safety gone mad these days, they ruin all the fun, okay? So that means as well that I have a hand tremor as well, and often different parts of my body shake or jerk a little bit. And as a result, when I'm stressed or tired or excited or fatigued or whatever, fiddly things become even harder than usual. Okay, so I've trained Bets to pick up keys, or I've trained her to pick up my mobile phone and find my mobile phone. I've trained her to pick up coins, my card, you know, bus pass, that kind of stuff, or stuff that I drop in the, you know, shops, or you know, anything like that basically. And another thing that I find as well when I'm working her is that people are a lot more patient and they're a lot more understanding, because before, if I, you know, tried to go into a shop and left my purse behind or drop stuff, people get very passive aggressive and rude because they can't see anything that's obviously wrong with you, so they'll start to make little comments and or say that you're drunk or something like that. And but if she's if I'm working her and she's got something on her that says she's helping me, it's like the Red Sea parting. People all of a sudden just tend to get it, okay? They're like, they can't be more helpful, and it's such a contrast to, oh my god, that lady, why is she walking so slow? Or, oh my god, she's dropping things everywhere. Oh my god, why is she like muttering to herself? Oh my god, you know, all these different things. Whereas if she's with me, people ask and people try and help. Okay, so the long and short of this is, it's not something that I tend to talk about because I'm not ashamed, but also I'm aware that people are quite judgy, and also I don't want to sort of sound miserable as well, because, you know, I believe having these conditions make me a lot more of a compassionate person, make me a lot more passionate about what I do, have given me loads of determination and tenacity in what I do. So it has its positives, and also you get to skip the queues at Alton Towers, which is a plus, but then if I went in a normal queue, I'd probably fall on the person in front of me, so it's like damage limitation basically. And yeah, so that's a little nugget of information. I'll be doing more videos on owner training, okay, and task work and public access and stuff like that in the future. But yeah, I just want to educate more people that, you know, owner training is a thing in England and is perfectly legal as long as you do it properly. Strapping a vest on a pet isn't the same as a task trained dog. As long as you are teaching your dog to directly mitigate your disability, well done you. And as long as your dog isn't distressed and is kept safe in the process, bloody kudos to you, okay? Keep it up, yay. There's loads of different resources out there. There's to find out about these kind of things. The Equalities Commission has a really good recent booklet. Also, I'm really pleased to see from last year the Civil Aviation Authority changed their guidelines to explicitly allow owner-trained assistance dogs as well. So that's really good, because it now means that, you know, we are allowed to travel in cabin on the plane, which is something Betsy will be doing next month. So that's really exciting. Loads of people have asked me whether I think she's going to be okay. I think she will be, because she's been on the underground, she's been on really long 12-hour train journeys, she's been on a canoe, she's been on the Emirates line, she's gone on, you know, trams, metros, coaches, buses, taxis, cars, and she's not fazed by them, to be honest. She's pretty damn good. So I think like an hour in the air is not going to faze her, okay? So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, okay, give me a thumbs up, yay. Or at least if you don't want to give me, my ugly face, a thumbs up, give her a thumbs up. She's like playing with a unicorn cuddly toy in the corner that's probably going to start squeaking, so I'm going to end this pretty quickly. If if you like it, thumbs up. If you like it, subscribe. If you find it useful, share. If you have any really good feedback or that you'd like us to include in our next video, or you know, do a video on something that maybe hasn't been done before, please comment and tell us what to do videos about. Alright, see you soon. Bye.